So we all know that today's election day, and we just wanted to remind all of you guys that you guys still have a lot of time. You could go right now and still go and vote. If you have not gotten the opportunity to go and vote today, please make sure that if you are registered to go to those polls and vote. It's very important. Your voice is important, and it's important that your voice is heard. So please go and vote. Sorry about that. So as for, there are some CDC rules that came out that the CDC released for people who are going in to vote. And there were two that I thought were actually pretty important for people who haven't gotten the chance to vote yet today. And it's monitor the voter line from your car and join when the line is short. So if you pull up to the location where you vote, and you see that the line is a little bit long and you're not really someone who likes to wait in line for a long time, you can definitely wait in your car and just see if the line gets short. And as soon as it does, hop out really quick, get in line, go vote, boom, done. And then the second one that they mentioned was take your own black ink pen or something that has like a fine point at the end. For those of you who, when you go in to vote, there's like a screen. So, because of COVID, you don't want to spread germs or anything like that, or attract any germs to yourself. So using something that has a fine point at the end would be kind of helpful for that. And you can just use it to click all the buttons on the screen. So yeah.
Speaking of voting, I know I voted today, surprise, around like 9 o'clock in the morning. I don't know if you guys will get into details of who I voted for, but my experience in voting today, well, it was kind of funny because when I got there to the voting booth, all these people were just like randomly like nice, like, oh, okay, oh, grab a donut, grab a coffee, this, that, and the third. Make sure you vote right there. It was just like overwhelming me.
Yeah.
This is my first one.
Yeah, I would definitely say I feel like that's kind of what I was trying to avoid. I kind of didn't want it to be an overwhelming situation for me because I'm a first-time voter, and I kind of just really wanted it to be an easy process. And with COVID and everything, there's just a lot going on. I decided to do early voting, and I did it by mail-in. So I had to fill out a ballot and everything. And then I had to go to a ballot drop-off location where they had like this box. And for some reason, I thought I was going to be waiting for like a really long time, but it ended up that there was barely really anyone there. It was really quick. We just dropped it in the box, and then they were just like, hey, cool, yay, thanks for voting. And then they gave me a sticker, and they're like, hey, bye. So yeah, but I think any way that you vote, it's important, and just make sure that you guys go and do that. We're going to be reminding you that this whole show, so just make sure you go out and vote, guys. But yeah, so what we also talked about was that it's really important for everybody of all ages. I feel like a lot of the time people really talk about how we really need young people to come out and vote. We really need, them to understand why it's so important and everything like that. But I feel like there are also people who, like are in their 40s who still don't vote, or, people in their 50s too that still don't vote. So I think it's important for all ages to understand that it's important to vote, not just 18-year-olds who are first-time voters this year. And so with that being said, over the summer, I decided to create a little voter registration video where I just had, performances, like people perform like their own like songs. There was a guy who played the piano, and I know somebody who, who he raps. So he did a little performance, and his sister did a dance. And, it was a really nice video that I just thought was really important to make because it's important. And, we really just needed to get the word out for a lot of, like I said, the younger crowd to, register first. And this was a time where people could still register. So in the video too, there were some testimonials, and it's people of all different ages. So I think this really ties into our conversation of getting people to all ages to go and vote. So I think we're going to cue that video in. in a few seconds, and we're gonna just take a look at it and then talk about it afterwards.
Why do I vote? I vote for all the people that fought for me to have the right to vote. Because in this country, somebody who looked like me at one point wasn't considered equal. So for all those that fought, gave their blood, sweat, and tears for me to be considered equal, me and my family, my children, my future, our legacy, I do it for them in solidarity.
Voting is important to me because I know that every voice matters. Everyone complains about the climate of America today, but all of those complaints are empty words if we do not use our privilege to vote. And yes, voting is a privilege, and it is our responsibility to use it wisely. And even still, knowing what you know now, why would you not want to vote and be the change that you want to see?
Voting is like art. It's like a mosaic, a bunch of teeny tiny unique pieces coming together to make a bigger, beautiful picture. A bunch of individual unique voices coming together to make a change, to make a difference, and it's beautiful.
I believe voting is important because voting gives people a voice. You're not only voting for the people that you want in office, but you're also voting for your community as well. So everybody go out and vote because every vote counts.
Using your power to vote is something so special because everybody doesn't get to do it. You have to be 18, obviously. But once you have that power of voting, you literally have a decision in your hands to either make this great nation that we live in something you look back on and smile about, or something you look back on and say never again.
I vote because I think it's important that my voice is heard.
I believe voting is important because so many people have fought for our right to vote as women, and I believe it would be a disservice to not use and take advantage of what we've been given.
Yeah, so that was just, a few different testimonials. And as you could see, it was people of all different ages. So no matter what age you are, never believe that your voice is not important. Go vote.
Yep. And speaking about early age voting, we have for our listeners who are on the radio, we have our United States early voting. For our mail-in ballot, we have about 49,768,958 people who voted during, the mail-in ballot. So that's good right there. We got the 26,023,693 who all voted in person, and a total of 75 million people who voted early this year. So that's some really good numbers. That's about what, thirds of a million, I believe, 100 million. But yeah, so 75 million people who all voted early this year. That's a great sight, especially from 2016. I also had this other post, not post, this graphic I got up from all the people who voted from Florida, North Carolina, and Michigan from the age of 18 and 29. The numbers are like extremely different from this year. From 2016 in Florida, we had 44,000 people who voted. North Carolina, 25,000 people. In Michigan, 7,000 people. All in the age of 18 and 29 who all voted in 2016. Those numbers had either double or triple within this year, especially Michigan. Michigan, y'all had a huge jump from 149,000. So very impressive. Very impressive.
Yeah, those are very, very impressive numbers. I feel like a lot of people really got the message this year. But yeah, so one of our Here's Out members did an interview with her grandmother, and she did early voting. She did it by mail-in, I believe. And yeah, so I think we're going to listen to that interview really quick, and then we will come right back.
Hi, I'm Marilyn Steinberg. I am 88 years old. I live in Havertown, Pennsylvania, and I voted.
What was your experience like with mail-in voting?
Well, it's actually the first time I did mail-in voting, and it was fairly simple. I filled out the form, voted my choice, put it into this secret envelope, and then inserted that envelope into the envelope that was to be mailed. And I mailed it.
If you had to choose, would you rather vote in person or by mail?
Well, if I had the choice, I would prefer voting in person. However, under these circumstances, in view of the fact that that COVID-19 is around, and I'm an older person, and it's much safer to do it by mail, I did it by mail, but I would prefer physically going and voting.
How has coronavirus impacted your life?
It's horrible. I can't go out. I cannot go shopping, which I love to do. I can't go to the casino, which I love to do. And it's been awful, but there are people in worse conditions, so I'm lucky I haven't caught anything yet.
Well, thank you for taking the time to be interviewed by me.
You're welcome. Hi, I'm Marilyn Steinberg. I am 88 years.
Yeah. So, early voting, I feel like was really just a big concern for a lot of people due to COVID. And, as you could tell by the interview, a lot of people were concerned about it, as was I, which is why I also did it. So I think, Edward, now you have a quote from people who actually didn't vote this year.
Yep, that's right. I interviewed one of my friends earlier this week. His plan was not to vote. He wanted to remain next one. I do have a quote pulled up right here that, as someone who is not voting this year, it is your right to rather vote or not. I understand that for the vote, that's the key word, and I don't feel comfortable.
So they felt that their right to vote wasn't important.
I mean, basically what I got from him, he just didn't feel comfortable voting this year because he didn't like his options. Choosing between Biden and Trump, don't really like plans. It's very difficult to make a decision, especially we talked a lot about it because this is my first time.
Right. Yeah, so it was just hard for him to choose between Biden or Trump, and he just felt like it was just too difficult of a decision to make, right? Yeah. Well, I feel like in a way that is also understandable, but I feel like having your voice heard is still kind of just the important note to always just keep in mind. But as for other people who are actually running for president, I feel like a lot of people don't know that Kanye is also running for president, which has caused a lot of controversy. In the beginning, it did. I feel like it kind of faded off now. But in the beginning, when he had first came out and said that, it did cause a lot of conversation on social media.
Right.
And a lot of people have opinions. So we're actually going to watch a clip of what Kanye actually said at one of his rallies, and then we're going to talk about it really quick afterwards.
And he explains it himself. So
when Harriet Tubman never actually freed the slaves. She just had the slaves go work for other white people. The National Basketball Association is not owned by any blacks. Universal Music is not owned by any blacks. Any celebrity is not the real power. Because the real power that I am putting my mind on the life today to speak about, you don't see them. You don't see the real power. You don't know who's putting the internet in your school just to track you. You don't know who's targeting you. Black woman in between the ages of 12 to 21 that follows this person in order to buy this product. You don't know who's the head of the boards. In risk or no risk of losing whatever deal possible, I am not on the board at Adidas. I am not on the board at Gap. And that has to change today. Or I walk away.
Yeah, so as you heard right there in that little short clip, he had a few different thoughts on his mind. Specifically, I think the one that really triggered everybody was the comment about Harriet Tubman. Specifically, I think that really just triggered the Black community because it's not the first time that he's said something in regards to slavery. He actually did say previously, I think about a year or two ago, I'm not exactly sure, but he did say a little bit while back that slavery was a choice and it actually wasn't a just an event that happened in history, which is something that also triggered the Black community. So with that being said, Kanye West running for president, in my personal opinion, isn't really the best, idea in my head. I personally feel like when you don't really have as much background in politics or anything like that, it kind of can sway people to, not really participate maybe in voting. And I think that kind of can also contribute to the whole not really wanting to vote. But what can we do? I know that there are some people who probably did write him in. I'm not really sure if they did, but I think most people either voted for Biden or Trump, as that's how it usually happens. But yeah, but there's third-party candidates too, right, Edward? I think that's what you wanted to, yeah.
Yeah, we have our third-party candidate this year. I looked into it, so I have this one third-party lady that Joe Jenkinson. I don't know if you heard of her. She is running for president of the third party, Libertarian Party, actually. And let's see, excuse me. Yeah, this is not her first time running for president. She previously won for vice president during the 1996 with Harry Brown. So this is not her first time. She said she's definitely going to run again. It was like a press conference video she did, and she knows she might not win, but she said she's still going to continue the great fight. And also, I looked into this. Brooke Pierce. I don't know if you heard of Brooke Pierce before. He's a Disney Channel star, well, Disney movie star from the early 90s. He was in The First Kid, Mighty Ducks. Yeah, Mighty Ducks, the hockey team movie. And yeah, he was running for president as the independent party. And he pretty much, from what I have seen, he pretty much speaks the same thing Trump said, but kind of presented the same way as Kanye, just not convincing. It's like, just have a weird way of presenting himself. But those are our third pick candidates.
Yeah. I just think Rahmon's here. Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think it's also important, even though everything is really about Republican and Democrat, I think it's really important for people to also know that there are other candidates in the third party of libertarians. So yeah. So, Ramon, I think we're gonna move over into our special guest.
Okay. Y'all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, good. Good. Our host is oh my god. I'm all over, so sorry. Um
You good, man.
I forgot the name.
We're, we're interviewing Ernest Owens. He's the
Ernest Owens. He's the award-winning journalist of media. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah. Hi, how are
Hello.
you?
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Happy Election Day. I see you all working hard. First time
Sorry for
voters,
the
it
mess
looks
up.
like. Oh, no, it's fine. I get it. It's your first time.
First time.
So, you guys are first time voters?
Yes.
Wow, that's exciting. I was in your shoes. Oh, gosh, I'm 29 now. So, that was about 10 years ago, 11 years ago. When I got the first vote. I couldn't vote for president yet because I had missed it by a year. So I voted in my first ever presidential election in 2012, and that was for Barack Obama. And that was when I was 21. I was 21 when I got to vote in my first presidential election. So it's kind of full circle to be able to see you all and talk about the importance of voting in this election. So I'm super excited.
Cool, very cool. We're glad to have you.
Thank you.
If we jump straight into the questions, I hope you're open to everything that we could ask about.
Absolutely. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, first question, it all like kind of collects together in the election because what we talked about. First question is, as African American and the people of color and also a gay man in the LGBT community, is the 2020 election important to you and why?
Absolutely. I think that as a millennial, as someone who, has have lived experiences as both a black person and a queer person. My life is on the ballot on so many different levels. As a black man in general, I mean, a lot of Trump's rhetoric around law and order and the criminalization of black people and a lot of the racial uprisings that we're witnessing, that targets me. As an openly gay man who's currently engaged to be married, I'm worried about the Supreme Court nominations that he's put through and what that kind of impact would do on marriage equality and other rights around discrimination across the country. I'm fortunate to live in a city like Philadelphia that has equal protections for LGBTQ people. But when you step out into other counties and parts of Pennsylvania, that's not the same. There are no statewide protections for LGBTQ people when it comes to housing, employment, and other types of issues. We just saw some of that with the Supreme Court decision this summer. But again, there's no federal law either. The Equality Act is something that is up on the table. And I think that with a president that is in support of that legislation, we can see change. And so a lot of things are on the ballot impacting my life and my identities this election season.
Okay. Guess you have anything to ask before I get to the next question?
I would just say, do you want to talk a little bit about like the protests and everything? Because I know that you specifically talked about the Supreme Court elect Amy Coney Barrett, which we all know is a little bit questioning. So if you wanted to just like comment a little bit on the protest and maybe how that has affected the protests recently.
Absolutely. I mean, there's two things going on right now, right? You have racial uprisings that are happening because of a lot of extrajudicial police killings that are happening, particularly to Black people. But then you're also seeing a situation where a lot of people are scared about these Supreme Court nominations. Trump has officially helped make the Supreme Court have a conservative majority. 6 out of 9 of the justices are conservative. And he made 3 appointments in his first term alone. And so, with the way that the Supreme Court will make decisions with a strong majority, that will definitely make an impact on people's lives. And so, right now, this election is about electing a president who people will favor will make better decisions.
Most definitely. Absolutely. Well, thank you for being on our show tonight.
Absolutely. Thank you. And make sure, I just hope everyone knows to stay in line. Please vote. Practice social distancing. Please wear a mask. Please use hand sanitizer. The COVID cases are spiking up. And I just want to make sure that people are just, making sure that not only do they practice their right to vote, but they practice their social distancing and safe health as well. So good luck, everyone.
Thank you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, guys, so that was Ernest Owens. He had a lot of really insightful things to say about everything that's going on behind the election right now and everything that's just going on, especially in the Supreme Court with Amy Coney Barrett. As I think most of us know, it's really just questionable because a lot of people who are in fear of, gay rights and, abortion rights and, just those are just things that we're aware that she's kind of not really for. And that's why it's just really questioning. So it's actually, we're running out of time and it's kind of time to close our show. So we have one quick video from a message from Cardi B, and then we have another quick clip. So let's just go right to that.
I don't want to make everything political, but it is what it is. It's by voting. And when I say voting, I'm not only talking about the president. We could vote for mayors, we could vote for judges, and we could also vote for DAs, district attorneys. Yes, we could vote for these people for our county. We sure can. The people that are voting for these people are most likely cops, most likely. That's why every single time that something like this happen, it goes to their favor. Because these people have the powers, DAs, these judges, these attorneys, they have the power to prosecute these cops when they do like this. That's why we have to vote. We have to be aware when these elections are going on. We have to be aware and inform ourselves of these people that are in power. That you think because they're not a senator or they're not a governor or they're not a president, they don't have no power, but they have power where you live at. And that's a fact.
Yeah, so that's just a quick clip of Cardi B. She's just talking about, just giving out a very, very important message. So the last clip that we have to show is from another one of our Hear Us Out members. He goes by Oh Yeah 2K, and just a little performance. So let's just show that really quick.
I can see they true intention when they look in my eyes. First I get 100, then 1,000 put to my name. I be driving how I want because I stay in my lane. Read it for myself instead of asking the government why. Government ties is the reason that the government lies. I know the military isn't here for our protection. I know I gotta pile my thoughts up before selection. I ain't gonna stop, nah, I ain't gonna wait. Yeah, you can build a wall, I'll go through the gate. I just wanna change, but I really want them built.
So, all right, that's the end of our show, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed that little last song. Thank you guys again for watching, and bye.
See you guys.
Bye.
Next year is that.